Okay. Good morning, everybody. I think we're streaming. Should be good. Yep. All right. So, as I said in the title, today we're going with the flying car concept. Um, Perhaps most famously done in either Blade Runner or Fifth Element, depending on which way you want to look at it, and how much like an actual real car you're thinking of. So, the challenge with these things is to try to offer something new on an idea that has already been done a lot and done really well. It's hard to improve on something that Sid Mead worked on, George Hull worked on, all of those guys. It's a little intimidating. But we'll see what we can do. At the very least, hopefully we'll get a cool looking car out of it, right? It's 90 minutes, um so one thing I'm going to show you that I think is kind of neat, and it's a way sometimes I start these things when I'm not exactly sure what I'm doing, is cars have a particular shape and design language and size that is pretty well established. And you could model something yourself that would fit that, or you could take a shortcut. And we're going to be taking a shortcut today. And what we're going to do is grab a car. And I think, so I know from experience that this Dodge Challenger works pretty well. I've done this before, but I want to try something a little different. So I don't want utility vehicles. I think in this one is actually like trucks. Yeah, I don't want a truck. Not going quite that big. I want to make something for my I don't know, kind of the halfway project I've been talking about with the colony and sort of a world that, let's see if transport has something, is tech but not like super well off. So you're going to need utility vehicles. Yeah, this will work. Let's start with the Nissan. Add vehicle. A world where I think of it more like the Australian outback or like Wyoming, where you're not going to see a lot of sports car type things, but there's a need for vehicles. So what we have here is just a standard vehicle, and we're not actually going to model on it, but we're going to, let's see, how's this one set up? Let's see, I think this will work. I think it'll work. Oh, is there a way to make editable? That's what I want to do. There we go. Okay. Now, we got all these bodies and everything else. Let's select it all and Control J just to join it to one mesh. And it's thinking. Am I the only one who gets nervous when Blender starts thinking? I'm like, come on, please be all right. Yeah, it's good. Blender's actually pretty good about crashing, although I found that this latest version crashes more than some of the earlier ones. So are we on our way to Mayadum? I don't know. I hope not. All right, so anyway, we have the car. We've now compressed it into one object model. We could, at this point, delete the rig if we felt like it, if it'll let us do it. Yep, and we just have a car. Cool. Create a new cube or use your default cube if you left it there. And scale it up a bit. GZ, SY. So it covers our whole thing. Then we're going to come in here and we're going to subdivide it. Just use a subdiv modifier, which I can never find. Subdiv surf. Simple. And we'll give it like, it doesn't super matter, but let's say 5. And Control A to apply. And now we're going to take this cube and we're going to give it the shrink wrap modifier. And we're going to select as the target that car. Then we're going to Control A, apply that, and then we're just going to turn off our car. And now we have a base form that's kind of close to what we want to do. We're going to do some changes to it. And I mean, I could have removed the window or the rear view mirrors, and that would have maybe made it look a little smoother, but this is fine for a start point. However, the Geo is kind of garbage, so we're going to remesh it. In the old days, I just used a Blender remesher, but I've recently picked up the Quad Remesher tool, which is essentially ZBrush Z-Remesh, and it's really nice. So we'll use that. Remeshing. Remesh succeeded, and now, yeah, see, now our topology looks way, way better. And I just want to make sure that it is mirrored perfectly before we start. So now we have a decent topology shape that we obviously know is a car, but it doesn't read as any particular car yet, which is important because we're going to mess with it and we don't want it to be a Nissan. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in those windows or those mirrors. I keep what I call them windows. And we're just going to use proportional editing, bring it in a bit, see how I feel about that. I might even, so the option is to keep it smooth or go hard. Let's see what happens just for funsies, because it'll keep the original. Let's remesh it, but let's set it down to like 500 polygons. Oh yeah. Okay. See, that's even smoother and gives us some really easy geometry to work with. So let's use that. 5,000 was too many. We've got a couple of weird sharp lines in there. Let's just select all and edge, clear sharp. So the whole thing is just straight, smooth again. Those blue lines were sharp lines and they're gone now. Okay, so now we got ourselves a car shape. And I'm just going to delete what I had before. And just have our car. And I'm going to save our file. New 230524, yeah, -1, stream, flying car. 2305 24-1, stream, flying car. All right. So now we got to decide what we want to do to it to make it look, more high-techy looking, or at the very least, different from our existing car model. And I think one of the things we're going to try is we've got proportional editing turned on still. Let's 3G and bring this up, make it wider. I don't want it so wide that it moves the bottom of the car particularly, but let's bring that up like that just to change it. At this point, we're honestly kind of changing for the sake of changing, but we want to just tweak our silhouette till it reads a little different and reads the way we want it to, both of which are important. So I'm going to take these, let's just go to the top. See. And I want to try, I need to apply my modifier. Is there a modifier on it now? Or I lost that modifier. Let's mirror it again. That's why it's looking weird. There we go. Now we're good. Now, let's grab our thing and SZ to flatten that top, and then GZ to bring it up slightly. And we're going to do the same kind of thing here. It's going to be, let's just see, SY0. Ooh. And we decrease that. Does that do anything for us? Do we like that? Brings that in. Maybe not. I think this edge is just kind of bothering me, this vertex. It's just still the remnants of that other one. So let's just move O, turn off O. Kind of bring it back more in line. Yeah, it's better. Just so it's flatter. So now we need to start thinking about where doors are, where engines are, and if we're gonna do anything cool to the front. We could do the Blade Runner method would be to kind of cut this section out a little bit if we were making it into like a spinner. And that's one option. I might even do a bit of that. Let's try that. Let's see. Probably easiest way is Boolean. Mesh cube gy sx sz to make it all the way up. Gy till it's yeah, there. Okay. And then that control minus, which it has been freaking out about in this new version when I have hops on, but it still worked. Okay. I want to try something a bit more to it though. I think, let's see what we get, just for funsies. If we go into here and we edit this, and we create an edge loop here, and we grab, not that face, this face, E, and bring it out some. It's still barfing. Let's turn off hops for right now. There we go. We can always turn it back on again after it. We're just going to edit this one side, and remember it's going to mirror. So we got that. That's kind of neat. Then what other changes do we want to make to this thing? Oh, what did I do? Tab. There we go. Control R. Let's bring that to like there. Like, yeah, there. And now let's bevel it out just a little bit. Cool. And then we can select this face again. E, and bring it out a little bit. And just to give us some interest and some difference. I think we probably need to bring it back a little bit too. Let's grab this face too. Fine. It's hard when things are hidden. Grab those two faces. And then we will Alt-E along normals and bring it in a little bit. There we go. Now that we've got it just selected out, now we should be able to take GX, bring it in, and it still works. Okay, yeah, it's a little not even, but that's fine. Cool. So now, that gives us another interesting starting point. Let's take this, apply that Boolean, delete that cutter. Okay, and X, mirror it. It still feels a little stumpy to me for what I want it to be. So we could kit bash it out, we could model it out. I think what we're gonna do is 7 GY. See how that goes. How do we feel about that? Did I have, why is that selected still? Is it? One, yes. Unselect that one vertex I had selected before. GY. Okay, so we still got something that looks like a car, particularly more like a bulkier car than a spinner from Blade Runner, but it's starting to have our own vibe to it. And if we sharpen it, see we shade, it gets shade smooth and it looks fine. It doesn't look terribly blocky, if that was a fear you had. And if it wasn't, good. Now I think that's okay. 3. Do we like that it's sort of smooth across there? Versus like having a cut down. You want an inset maybe? Or I'm going to apply hops again, just because I'm going to do another Boolean. mesh cube G scale G SX. Okay, 3G. I'm gonna bring this in, and I'm gonna just so it differentiates from this cut up there. I'm gonna shrink it on the y-axis a bit, so it's obviously not the same thing. Same with this one there. Okay, and then control minus. Yeah, I like that. So let's apply that, and then I'm gonna use the same cutter to make sure it's the same size. Bring it down and do it on the bottom one as well. So we have that. And that's working for me. I'm digging that. So apply, delete the cutter again. Some people leave their cutters around. Some people don't even apply those things, but I kind of like to get things as simple as possible for me. So I think I might try now though, doing another quad remesh at like 2000, see what it does. See if I like it. It's a little bit wonky on that edge there. That's kind of strange, but on the whole, yeah, I think it smooths things out. We can fix this front end here. That won't be a problem. It does not like that edge there. That's just bizarre. 7. Let's see if we Alt-Z, B, SX0. Okay. That's kind of neat. Does that make it better? I think it does a little bit. I'm trying to get used to doing those. For whatever reason, I don't do that very often. And I'm like, that's a good tool. I shouldn't forget about it. But anyway, okay. So we got our front spinner part thing. We're going to build some gunk in there. Let's start thinking about where doors and windows and such are. I think the thing about doing a smaller vehicle like this is you do actually have to remember that you want it to have doors. And we may need to do a little bit of modeling on our own to get that. I think we're going to make a cut line there. Now let's see, if we made our door that far down, I'll clean that up. That far up, that far over, around. Do we like that for a door? Maybe we do. I think it could work. Maybe though, we want, okay, let's do this. And then maybe even one more, okay. And do that. Let's add that, see how we feel about adding this in to the door as well. I think that might be a good door. Okay, so let's inset just a tiny little bit, not even that much. Inset faces 3 millimeters. Yeah, sure, that seems about right. But we'll select outer and E. Take it in. Now we have a door. And I don't have my mirror modifier turned on, do I? I guess I took it off before. Ooh, okay, now that's weird. What got burned down there? Well, we're just gonna get rid of it, whatever it was. 1 tab 1 X dissolve vertices. See if that fixes it. Yeah, okay. I just stretched something when I was pulling things out. It got confused, but that's okay. Looks all right now. That looks like there's some weirdness there. Let's check the face orientation. Yeah, there's some weirdness there. I don't know that I care. Looks like there's an extraneous face in here. Yeah, see if we get rid of this. Control M. Can we merge? 1. No. Ah, stop doing that. Stop it. 1. So we got those two and those two selected. Can we control merge? Is this M? Merge, yes. Merge at center. That changes it, but I think that fixes it too. Yes, it does. Cool. Just got rid of the other line. And anyway, did I lose my door? Where'd my door go? No, okay, I got shade smooth turned on. That's right. Or did I lose my, I lost my inset. Weird. Okay. Inset. Bring it in. There we go. Door. Door on both sides. Okay, cool. Let's come here now and edit. And I think we're going to need to do, well, maybe not. Let's see. Where are we going to put a window? I think that's going to be C. I'm going to grab these. I. And I don't want select outer on this one. Okay. E. Bring it in a little bit, not too much. And then just going to do it one more time. I bring it in just a titch. And E to bring it in just a little bit more. Okay. And then you guys know the drill, something I have already messed up on. New body and plus assign new window. And I just want to make sure this one's working right because we were having some trouble with this yesterday, but hopefully we're good. Cool, we're good. So we got our body and we got our window. And obviously we're going to mess with what those textures are, a lot, but just so we're started. Now we'll continue on the door for a minute. We need to give it some kind of door handle maybe. I mean, we don't have to. It could just be, I don't know, an intelligent thing. But let's kind of try to match kind of where this, we're not being exact, but well, we could be exact. There. Now we're being exact. Okay. Because I'm going to put the door handle. Well, do we want it on the front or the back of the door? I think if the door flips up, where do we want the handle? If you're coming up to a door, would you want it on the back, the middle? Maybe you'd want it over here. This is like traditionally you'd want it over here, I suppose, if this were a regular car. I can speak. So we'll put it there because I think we sort of expect to see it there, so that makes more sense. Now let's come up and we want to do, let's see, probably should have done this at the same time, but we might want a rear window. No, I don't want that selected too. But let's go to here. No, it's too far. Here. And we'll assume that. Okay. And we're just gonna, we'll eyeball it. Yeah, that seems about right. Then we will, and E in slightly. And then we will I again. And inset slightly, and then we'll assign that to window. So now we have our rear window, although there's only 2 doors, but that's fine. We got our window. And then we probably want, I'm going to kind of go around the back before the front because I want the front windshield to maybe be a little bit different. So, but if we go C, again, select that far. Too much, too much. Okay, and then oh, and we don't want these anymore. Go away. Sheesh. I into about there. Cool. E in a little bit. And then I know there's a lot of just repetition of doing the same things over and over again with this stuff. And then E again. And then assign the window. So now we have a rear window, side window, and I mean, our material looks like butt, but there it is. I wonder, just for funsies, if we take car paint metallic orange, that was that ugly Nissan color, but now at least it's like, okay, it's something. It's not white. It isn't going to be orange. Now, do we want one of those little triangle window here? They're kind of common in vehicles. Often we've got them. We don't have a really good topology for it this time, but we can make one. Where do we want to put it? To here? Sure. And then 3, just select by hand this time. Okay. Now, I'm thinking we got a lot of very sharp edges. Do we want this to be completely sharp? Yeah, we'll stay with that because that's what we've been doing. I, Alt S, no. I can only come in so far. That's cool. And then E, and then I again, and then E, and then assign window. I mean, I'm not in love with this. I kind of wouldn't mind it rounding more to like that, but I think in the interest of play, I might leave it alone for right now. I'll probably end up regretting that. But yeah, okay. So then let's do our windshield. We want it to come to at least here. And then leaving 1.5. Yeah. 1 here. I actually need to go half because I have the whole car mirrored, so it doesn't really matter what I do on that side. And E, I'm going to shrink this one a little bit, just going to go to that. E, then we'll shrink it a little bit. I, and then E again, but not far. Okay. And the windshield. This is not the world's sexiest car, but again, it's not really supposed to be. It's kind of more of like a working car. It's the kind of thing that they built cheaply and either shipped to this planet or they built them really cheaply on this planet. So it's going to be way more functionality driven than necessarily made by great industrial designers. So it can be me because I am not a great industrial designer. And 2. And we bevel that. I do like that. That's cooler. Yeah, that helps us a lot actually. And let's see if we can do the same thing with this line, but not all the way. Here, from here to here. Just I'm gonna go over the halfway point just so I know I've got it. Let's see if this is the one. No, it's not. Whoa! No, it's not that one. It's this one above it that we want. Maybe both of them. And I think that's cool, but I think I'm gonna cover that stuff with gunk anyway, so it probably won't matter. We're gonna gack it out. We're gonna need to gack it out. Where are we at? 30 minutes basically. And here's where we are right now. It's not too bad. Let's come back in and I want to select our bumper, which will make go from here to, so one outside there to one outside there, right? Yep. And let's make it go up and down and Turn back on proportional editing, SY, and bring it flatter. And then maybe GY, bring it out, but SY, I'm just kind of trying to, let's see, SY0, that might be a little too much, but might not be actually. If we turn down the proportional size to like 0.2, 0.1, yeah, okay. I mean, it's sharp now, but I think that's where we'll put our exhaust port, and that will be cool. We can also start doing some sharps. So if we select our edges, and then edge, mark sharp, start having some form to it. I'm liking that. Cool. Save again. Now, maybe let's do a bit of kit bashing. Just now that we have our base form in place, and then I want to come back and do more modeling too, but I think a mixture just for speed and getting something that we can see at the end. So you guys know where I'm going. I'm going to the big, medium, small model shop Greebles kit because, yeah, stuff is so good. And exhausts. And let's see if we see something we just kind of like. Kind of like in this one, 12. A 5 could be good. 15 could be good. 20 could be good. Let's see. 12, I think, is like the most aggro looking of them. Let's try it and see. Alt G. Scale it down. GY. GZ. And we gotta be not afraid to make changes to this thing if we need to. Like just because it's the shape that it is doesn't mean it's the shape that it has to be. SX, pull it out a little bit. SZ, bring it down a little bit. See exactly how we're looking. Bring it further out. But then I think we're gonna bring it back in. Now let's see what we got in color. It's all right, although if we want the glow, it looks like it needs to come out a little further. Yeah, there we go. For how he had it set up, at least. We could make our own glow, but, you know, fine. I'm good with that. I actually am. And then I think I'm going to go and take these faces here and see what we can do. Let's go back to solid view. And no, let's not do it. We want to do, yeah, I is probably the easiest way to do it. But I want to select the inner, I want to select basically this loop. Ooh, that's neat. It made it solid. Why did it make it? Oh, it brought out because that was the edge was. Why did we get both? Oh, because I have half. Maybe though. No, let's. Because I didn't actually select the whole thing, it created this weird loop. So let's be not lazy. Select the whole thing. 1, 9. C, or not C, 3. Mm, 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 mm. There we go. Now I've got just that selected, right? And it's the same on all sides. Yes. Okay. Now if I inset, I should get an even loop. Yes, I do. Okay. Now I should be able to select just the inner one, right? Yes, I can. Now let's turn back on my other part so I can see it. And Alt E, face along normals. Ooh, not that big. SY0. Okay. Show enough. Let's solo. Now I want to grab these parts. This is getting in my way, so I'm gonna close it for right now. I need a bigger monitor, which is the cry of, everyone. Proportional is on. I think that's gonna be important. S, because I don't want to do the whole thing. I just want to do those. SZ0 and increase the proportion or decrease. Yeah. All right. I don't want to do that. Okay. I want to move all those things down, but I don't want to see if it'll do it. We'll keep them together. SZ0. Now it still flattens it to one thing. Maybe I'll just do it. And then E like that. Yeah, okay. I wanted to get that flat at the bottom. And I think I'm going to do the same thing on the top too. SC0, and then E, and bring it in like that. Okay, cool. All right, save. And I always find this stuff tricky because, like I said, we want to make something that looks cool to a 21st century watcher, but that's not necessarily what's going to be cool to a 26th century car buyer. So if you make it look cool to what we have now, you're guaranteed success in the sense of like moviegoers will like it, but it's going to have a sameness to what we already have now that I find gets a little boring after a while. But if you make it just what it looks like cool to somebody else, I mean, you wind up with 70s bell bottoms, right? It just doesn't, people look at it and they laugh at it now. Or, flying saucers in the 50s were cool and now they just kind of look dated and silly. So it's just something you have to kind of find your personal. And of course, ideally, you want it to look different and cool. That's your vibe. That's what you're trying for. I want it to be different, like all the other different things. Okay, so now I'm coming back, and I thought I saw something in exhausts that I might want to use for something. That's pretty damn cool, to be honest. And I think RY90, sure. Scale. Can we put it in here and have it do something? Do we like it pointing backwards or forwards? That's the other question. So right now, we got our backwards point, which is kind of neat. But what happens, RX180, if we reverse it? Does this give us something we want? At least something different. That's kind of cool. I like, does it have a back? Is there actually something there? Let's see. Let me just look at that part. No, there is not. So that's the first thing let's do because I kind of want it sticking out over. I liked that. No, select that. Can we grab the whole thing? Let's see. F, close it off. Cool. And F, close it off. Cool. Okay, now we have some solid edges there. And that's kind of neat. I do actually like that. All right, cool. So dump it in there. And I like that it sticks out a little bit. And this is kind of part, you know, like our, I mean, it's supposed to be an exhaust, but I guess for us it could be an intake even. But it's something engine-y and greebly for that part, which is just neat. I'm digging it. Save again. What we got in the way of engines? Is there anything we want to use in our engine section? I'm not seeing anything yet, although maybe that. But I think we're going to need something in here that feels cool. We could just go with a grill, obviously. We could go with something like that. We could go with something more greebly. Something more greebly sounds good. What happens if we take this piece and we shrink it way down, RZ90, RX90, and we keep shrinking it, bring it over, 1GZ, and we bring it down, maybe even, what happened? Yeah, no, I'm not going, well, do I Alt-G? No, I don't think I'm going to this time. I'm not going to center it, because what I want to do is take this piece here and do that to it. And now I think I will apply the mirror, Control A, now Alt G, now GY, GZ, GY, GZ. Yeah, digging that. Maybe I need to scale it down just a titch so it doesn't stick out the sides of our vehicle. We'll cut it, but scaling it's easy. Okay, we're gonna need to do something underneath it too, but I think that's cool for our starting point. Underneath it, we could literally do the same thing, with something like this. Let's see how this one goes. And 7. Yeah, I think this will work well. Scale it. RZ90, RX90, 1G. Wow, where am I? 1, just so we get the scale right. That looks good. Let's scale it. I want to make it so that, okay. Let's do it on this side, I think. Alt X, see how it looks. Oh yeah, that's how we're doing it. GY. Bring that sucker in. And maybe even bring it down. Oh, no. GZ. And scale it up a bit. So we got something kind of coming to the front like that. That might be a bit just slightly too big. And slightly, there we go. Cool, and we need one more piece above it. But what happens, I'm going to Shift D, GZ, and then on this hops mirror, I'm going to remove the flip. So it goes the other, it grabs from the other side. Yep. So we're just using the same piece, but whereas we mirrored the right side before, now we're mirroring the left side. And cool. Yes, we need to fill in this, and we need something underneath here clearly. And we might be getting close to time to remove this ridiculous orange color too. Where are we at? 45 minutes. Cool. Yeah, that's looking cool. I think this is approaching kind of what I wanted to get out of this, which is always nice. Doesn't always happen, but it's always nice. So here, scale 7:9. kind of doing the same thing again, guys. I'm just gonna see, can we bring this up into there? And what does that give us? Do we like it? I think we kind of like it. Maybe scale it in just a little bit. Bring it forward so it comes to our engine section, maybe even sticks out. Does it stick out? Yes, it does. Cool. And then mirror it along that. Right. Oh yeah. Okay, so that looks cool from the side. We kind of see a little bit of underneath. I think that's pretty sweet. Yeah, I like it. Let's give it some of these, he calls them greebles, but this is almost more of a piping, but Alt R, scale it way down, RY90. Oh, it's the other side, I see. Oh, we'll just take it to the other side. G, we could have mirrored it, but since, given that we're gonna go on the other side anyway, I'll just bring it over here. GY, GX to bring it in to that. Liking it. This part here needs to go, or at least be moved, but the rest of it's looking cool. And maybe that part there. I'm gonna go back to solid view, shrink this down just a little bit. I won't get rid of it yet, but let's give us more room. And tab, edit, L, does it get the whole thing? Turn off proportional editing. Does not get the whole thing. L, just solo it. It's gonna do it this way. 3, Alt Z, B. Control L, select it all. Cool. GZ, GX. This is what I mean by always remember you can edit your greebles. They don't have to be the same. In fact, I'm going to bring it out a little bit, not in. Yeah, that's cool. And then solo it, come around to the back side, grab that ring, and then just extrude it to fix things that we had. So if there's any holes out. Yes, nice. That's what I wanted. That's what I'm talking about. L, 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 L. Is that all of it? I gotta get a middle piece too. L and L, G, Y. That's all of it. Okay. 7 or 3, 9. 3. There we go. I want it there. Now let's put that up here. There's no reason it had to be where it was before. GX. And again, we'll bring it out. And this one I think actually is fine. Does it need to go out that far? Do we want it out that far? I like having the variants of size, but SX, let's bring it in so we have those same things, but they don't go as far. There we go. Okay. So there's that piece now. And then we're just going to take one more time. Solo tab, come to here. I'm just going to grab, turn around, bright eyes. I'm going to grab this one, E, and stick it out until it reaches my engine. Oh, it even goes into that hole. Oh, that's one of those like happy accidents things. That's just sweet. Cool. So now we take that piece and we mirror it around our car. And we got a little bit more like, again, they're not super worried about making it aerodynamic. They want to make it work. And that part just made sense around the outside for whatever reason. And I think once we get the textures right, that'll work fine. All righty then. Let's see if we can't give it some plating now. And I think we're going to go with good old random flow for that. And this is where having the good topology really helps us because we can, random flow will take advantage of that. And one more. Okay, yeah. Let's go all the way to the edge. Grab that. All righty. And tab, Shift Q, random panels. Maybe. And I don't think we want any cuts. We already have quite a few. In fact, it might be too many. F9 radial. And I want my panel size to be bigger. Because I don't really want a lot of panel. Like it's like a hood kind of vibe. But I think that, yeah, that's working. Gives us some neat cut line there. Feels like it could be either one or multiple hood sections. You can pop up each one of those, which is neat. Okay. Come back in again. Let's do it again. Let's see, I'm gonna grab these. Let's see what we got. We need to get some more. Just hard to see all in one spot. This one may not be quite as pretty because my edge loops aren't as pretty because of my bit of Boolean cuts, but I think it'll be all right. Okay, so we're gonna go with that as our starting shape. And random panel. I mean, honestly, that's probably all you need, but let's just to play with it. If we cut it down a little bit and we get a few more panels. Oh, damn it, I still had the original selected. Well, I can undo. Tab, solo, B, deselect that. Now, random panels. Panel seed. Liking that. Yeah, I'm liking that. Cool. So we got some paneling there, and then some straight space here, which I think is important. We want to keep it a good mix of big, medium, small, right? You want your shapes to be, you want to have areas of rest where you can see the design without having it covered in Rob Liefeld-esque pouches or panels or whatever. Now, one thing I do like doing, and I know I've done it before on these kind of spinners, I just think it's cool, is I want to make some pipes across here. Where do I want them? Let's see, is it better on that side? I think it is actually better on this side to start from. Take those two, Q, circle. And now we want them to be about the same size. Yep, 3, E. I just like that. It makes it feel a little bit more industrial to me, and it just sort of works. And I think I'm gonna take, I might, ooh, this probably could come down just a titch. I'm seeing that now. Z. So that part is not covered. Great, cool. And we could do something similar here. And it might not be a bad idea actually at all. Grab this. I think we're just gonna do one, and we'll grab this one right here. And then this is hard ops, Q, circle. You can set the scale. It's really titchy though. Sometimes it's hard to, circle radius 0.1, 0.01. There we go. That seems like a good amount. 3, E. All right, do I like it? Is it too small? I think we need 2 at that size. But that's cool because we can do 2. Q, circle, 3, E. Yeah. Yep, that's cool. Okay. So you see how we started with a Nissan SUV and now it looks nothing like that, but it still has the car read without having to like either intrinsically know it or look at a lot of reference and spend time remodeling and trying to match something. Just use the shrink wrap. It works great. It's a really good, quick way when you're concepting to get something where you need to be. This one thing seems very out of place, doesn't it? Let's bring that sucker back up. Is it just the one? Yeah, mostly. It's still out of place. Gee, there we go. Fixing your edge loops. Okay, that's better. Now let's make a back panel. And 3, we'll select from here to here, 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 here. I think that's going to be our panel size or our area for doing random panel. Maybe we go one more. I think we do. Yes, I think we do. And tab and shift Q and random panels and panel seed. Let's just see if we find one we like more. All these are pretty cool, quite frankly. That one feels fast to me. I like the fact that it's kind of concentrates more of those smaller cuts in the back, and it gives us some, so we kind of go from big to medium to smaller ones as we go there, and that's neat. And then over here, I'm going to grab the exact same size, and I'm going to here. I'm just going to grab this section as a section by itself. I think, or, yeah, screw it. We're just going to grab that section and I have to fix that. I don't want those. Okay, but that'll work. Okay, Q, random panels, panel seed. Yep, cool. I could do all of these in one for sure, but then I wouldn't have had that line, and I wanted that line. So by doing them in sections, you guarantee you know where the edging of everything is. And I feel like I like that. Because now I'm going to do the same thing with these. I think what were selected. Let's solo. I just want to make sure that I don't have any of the side ones, and I do. We don't want piss off. Let's see, get rid of that, get rid of that. I want those to be, and then get rid of that. Okay. Cool. Looking good. Now the question is, do we want to combine, do we want the top part to follow that same seam line? I think maybe we do. So let's see, random panels, panel seed. And I think I'm going to want these panels to be, I want less of them. Maybe, or more of them? No. Oh, that's kind of neat that it goes, the line goes like that. It's a little weird here, but I think that's okay. Looking good. Now, the one thing we're noticing here, and it's fine, but is that our door panel now is like, we need to, are we going to panel all this area? And maybe, maybe not. I don't think we are actually. So if we're not, we need to figure out how to like blend the door in better. So let's just see. Can we do that as a panel? And then we'll put some greeble out here and you won't notice that the other thing is there. Q, random panel, panel seed. Did I still have the other one selected? Ugh, yes, I did. Gotta watch out for that. Random panel. Cool. Cool. I think that'll work. Yep, that'll work. So come back into color. We can see it. Yeah. So now, right. I like it. I actually quite like it. I do think we need something here that's not a panel, but it's not terribly protruding. And in fact, maybe protruding is the exact opposite thing we want to do. Do we want to? Let's see. Let's see, yes. And then I, and then go with normal and GZ. Sure. So we cut in instead of coming out. I think that works. I mean, there's no reason for it, but I just think it works for breaking up our shapes nicely. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Now, I wanted to put some kind of a rack on the top because again, this is going to be like a working vehicle. So you're going to need to like load some stuff on the top. And I think we can do that pretty easily. B. How big a rack? I think it's going to go from here to there. Maybe one more this way. Yes, I think that's good. Then we can Shift D, P selection. If we just grab this selection now, why did we get those two? Oh, because I had it selected as well. Fine, but L, X, delete. Is there still more? What else is that? I don't know. Let's apply this. Make our lives easier. 2, X, vertices. Oh, and I applied it, so I got it over here too. X, vertices. So now I have this top panel of our car, right? And it matches. Now, can we remesh it down to like 25? See what happens. Perfect. And the reason that's cool is because now we can take those parts, E up, seems about right. Then we'll take our top section here. Let's see if this will work. I hope so. Got them all because we don't have mirroring on anymore. And we'll bevel it. Just one like that. And then we'll take the whole thing and give it a wireframe modifier. And shrink it way down to about that. That looks good to me. And then unsolo it. And now we have a silly little rack on the top. And we could even, do we want to GZ? Grab that. Sharpen. How do we feel about it? Is it too, it might be too sharp. Maybe I don't want to do it that way. Can we undo it and just, let's get rid of that. So we got that again. We'll try a different thing. Solo it. A, Q, Q, can I, mesh, can I convert to object, convert to curve. Now it won't let me. And if I try just doing a curve extract, I think it's just, no, it does the whole thing. Oh, that's cool. That's better. Now we like that much more because this gives us, now it doesn't have those ugly hard edges that the other one did. This gives us the ability to increase our resolution. And instead of negative, because that always goes ugly, let's go with positive. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted, I think. Exactly, I think what I wanted. We can just delete that. Now it has that car rack kind of vibe thing on the top. And yes, the color is disgusting and ugly, but I think that'll do it. And we take it down a little bit, just a titch more. Yeah. And now if we're feeling really good, we could build some like clamps on the side of it. Let's do that. So let's convert it back to mesh and solo it just so it's easy to see. Edit. And I'm going to Control R and let's create 10 cuts just so because we'll be consistent this way. Control R. I don't know that it will be actually because they may not be the same size. Yeah, never mind. Let's get that. Control R, one cut down the center of that one, and then Control R, one cut down the center of that one. Now, if we take this and do, I want to go with global. Can I say SY0? Yes, I can. See how useful that tool is? I need to do more of that. SY0. So we've made it nice and vertically consistent instead of being disgustingly kind of angled like the rest of it was. Because now, got those. And we can Control B to bevel, pull it out, Alt E to extrude along normals. Do that. Yeah, boy. That's what we talking about. Let's turn off. And I mean, we could add a clamp. Sure, let's add a clamp part. 3 and 3. And then on the other side, this won't be exact, but this I think will make it, you'll see some micro details that you may not even be consciously aware of. I don't think it's, but I think it'll work. Because I don't want that one. Shift hide. No. Alt hide. Ugh. Undo. Just solo this thing. Yes. And where I've got that selected, I don't want that one. I want that one. Now we can do E, and then it's going to be, how do we want to do this? Can we do an Alt S Z? No, what's that? Well, we can still do this. I mean, we could just go up like that. Yeah, we'll do that. Sure, why not? Because that'll give us more visibility to it. And then that, and that. I don't know if I'm making any sense. I hope I am, but Alt E, this is on normals, down and in, and solo. And now we have a clampy thing. And because we've done that, now let's bring this back up just a bit so we can show it off more. So it clamps to the car. Save. Where we at? 1 minute 9. Man, you start doing these little details and it starts to eat a lot of time fast. It's interesting. So we have no headlights. I don't know if we want them, but we have none. I mean, It's probably controlled inside by computer and it doesn't need one, but we kind of like the look of headlights, don't we? We stand headlights. Dot I E G Z, now G Y, and then I E, and then of course I again, E Y. And now we can come back over here and add a new material, assign headlight. Cool. There's a light. And do we want another light? I think we do. I think we want one right down here. So we're gonna I, then we're gonna face, poke faces. One, I don't even know why I did the I. Didn't need to, but it's fine. Q, circle. Three. Let's see. SY0, GY. Nope. Do I want to do it that way? GY. One. No, I don't know if we want to do the 0. Let's undo that. Just come in. E. Realistically, we probably should do something like that, but we're not going to. And this we're going to call assign. We're going to make another new one because we're going to want it to be a different color. Headlight 2. And we haven't decided what color that is yet, so we'll just leave it like that. But now we have it there, and it's assigned. Cool. And then, do we want any tail lights? I mean, it's going to have this cool glowy bit on the back, so I don't know that we need to really worry about tail lights too much. Just because maybe we'll be all right. It also doesn't have windshield wipers or anything like that, but again, I'm gonna be okay with that, I think. Let's see here. I think maybe I do want to create a panel inside this cut section or something inside this cut section. And I have it. I inset a little bit, and then, although we could have done that with random panels, random loops, random plate insets. Let's see what we'll get with plate insets. Plate 10. That's obviously too, it's not right yet. Max. Subdivision 1. And our depth we're going to set to 0.02. Yeah, that's okay. That works. I like that. Again, no reason for it, but who cares? Okay, so we're at 1 minute 14. So let's start thinking about materials. I think that's our next thing to go with. How do we want it to be? Do we want it matte? Do we want it metal? Do we want it panels and starships? I don't really have an answer to that yet. I don't have a good sense at this moment how I want it to be. I know I don't want it to be this disgusting orange. So we'll start with that. Let's pull, come here. Come here, where's your edge? Header, I'm just gonna close and open it again. Go away. That'll teach you. So I'm not gonna merge stuff together yet because I'm not entirely sure what I want to be separate. So let's leave our options open. And I think we'll start to see as we start shading this thing. So if we just go with our base car being a, let's just make it the grunge yellow. I don't think it's going to be that. That's our base car. I do kind of like the dirt. I do kind of like the matte color. I'm not sure I like the matte yellow, but and I think then this is going to be that same matte yellow, grunge yellow. Yes, that's definitely going to, we want that to be the same. Maybe not those. This is going to be the same. This and this, so I'll just join them together, is going to be the same. I think this is also going to, well, oh yeah, I think this is also going to be the same. Well, maybe not. How do we feel about that being separate? Oh, I don't know. Well, we'll change the color, but we won't join it. So we can still change our mind later. Let's save. Okay. These, I kind of like these being like a darker color. So maybe we'll go with to start with the distressed hull. That's cool. That gives us that just like aggro black. Again, because I haven't, if you saw me yesterday, I haven't given it any vertex color. It doesn't have to be black. It's just set to pull from vertex colors. But cool. And it kind of links well with this color. That's our metal sheeting classic Star Wars color. And this, I think, is also going to be our distressed hull texture. It's metal. I mean, I'm not hating it. Even the yellow, I'm not hating. Let's play with our yellow a little bit, see what we get. Let's close this down. Oh, actually, we'll just go to shading and it won't see it. Shading, save, jump into cycles, and grunge yellow is here, and definitely not red. Oh, that's a disgusting green. But bring it down. Do I want kind of more like a tank color, kind of like a Land Rover kind of thing? I mean, that just seems like avocado green, and I'm not crazy about that yet. Is there a brown we like? It just seems to be, I'm not crazy yet about it. Don't hate that. Let's try something. Layout and Shift A, mesh, plane, G, scale, GZ, just whatever. Under guppy ground. Now what happens if we go back to shading and we grab this and we select the ground color? What do we get? Yeah, I'm not hating that. Can we bring it up just a bit in value? 0.25, 0.33 maybe? That's that like ugly 70s beige color. Yes. 0.5, too bright. 0.4 could be good. I think we have a winner for coloring. I think we need some accent colors too, but I think that's going to be our very practical car from the colony. Yeah, that's looking cool. All right, let's just get rid of our ground for right now. I'm not going to use that as a ground, and then come back. Now I don't like the bottom of the car being this color. I'm going to close my asset browser again for a bit. Yeah, like I said, I don't like the bottom being this color. It's not really working for me. 7, 9. And I think bottom counts from like the start of this sharper thing here along. Is that correct? Is that all just one? Yeah, that's just one. Am I on the wrong side? Yes, I'm on the wrong side. Okay. So from basically where the sharp thing ends there, what happens if we just select that? We get too much. But that's where I want to go. To here. To here. See. It's going to kind of roughly know where I'm going. Because once I've done that, then I can solo it and see that, yeah, I don't want to go past there, the bottom. So if I see and turn that off, and turn all that off, 1, 3, Alt Z, B, B, turn off that, B, turn off that. And I don't mind it going to actually the one further. So I think I'm okay with that. 1, 9, or 7, 9, sorry. B. Okay. And although I could just get rid of it. All right, fine. I'm going to get rid of it. And we're going to come back and fix it. Okay. Enter. Fix it. Fix it. Let's see. Let's grab my stylus, and this might go easier versus just using my mouse. Yeah, that's definitely easier. I actually prefer the mouse mostly in Blender, but every once in a while you're like, you know, it would really be useful if I had a freaking pen to do this. Okay. So we've grabbed all that, and I think if we assign distressed on, bottom gets filled, yeah. And if we unsolo it, it shouldn't look nearly so rough and empty. Maybe not that back section though. Or if we do, we need something else back here. I think that needs to be car color still. From here. I'm just going to grab it ugly because it's fine. And all that needs to go back to being car color. Yeah, yes, it definitely does. And in fact, I think all that needs a panel. That's all the way to there. Solo it. B. Okay, and C. Look at me being so precious. It's silly. You really shouldn't be this precious, but Z8. See. Okay, there we go. Tab, Shift Q, panel. Cool. Yes, that is perfect. Gives me exactly what I wanted. Yes, now the back of the car feels like it actually has a separation from the bottom, because it does, and that works. Save. Okay, where are we at? 125. Wow, right. Looking good. Let's replace our windows. I think we'll just use our blue window thing that I made before. Yeah, at least to start with. Windows, scratch dirty. Yeah, those scratches probably need to be adjusted a little bit. They seem like they're a little too large on this one. So let's do that. We got time for that. Scratch dirty glass. There's my scratches. Grunge 2. Map range. Scratches normal. Scale 5. Let's see what that gives us. Yeah, that feels better. They're still there, but they're much smaller. Let's just to try it. 3. Is that too big? Yeah, that's too big. 4. No, 5 feels good. And we could do some more. I mean, obviously, we have kind of barely scratched the surface. If we wanted to really get into detailing this, and I could do a lot more down here. That might be kind of cool. Let's a little bit more. I can't let it go. Solo it. 7/9 tab. Now I should be able to just select the distressed hull texture, and it should be the only thing. Yes, it is. Okay, cool. So now solid Q. Let's do random plate inserts. Plate 25. Okay. Yeah, I think that'll work fine. I want to give the bottom of it some feeling that it does something, that it's different. Did it go? Yeah, they're there. I see them. Oh, I like that one. I think we want something here. But yeah, I really like that one. C. Go away. It's C. It's for cookie. Select that. And tab and shift Q and random panels. And yep. Cool. Instantly feels better to me. I think we'll do the same thing on the front. It's that side, right? Which side does I have? Do I have mirrored? It's this side. It's my mirrored side. And C. Okay. Tab and shift Q and random panels. Cool. Alrighty. And I think we're like right at 130. This is feeling pretty good for, again, an initial starting point. So again, you see how we took a real car and we have now warped the heck out of it. And I think I still got the Nissan in here, don't I? It's just for funsies. Turn back on the Nissan, see how different it looked. It's thinking. There's a Nissan. And if we GX, no, where'd my Nissan go? Turn on. There we go. GX. So that was the car we started from. And that was where we ended up. I mean, they don't look the same. You wouldn't think it was that Nissan if you looked at it. But we've definitely used some of the curvatures, and more importantly for me, the size. So we know that we're scaled in the XYZ and the various parts properly for what a car should look like. And I think that works pretty well. Turn that off, save. And I'm gonna put this puppy in a scene, and I still need to give it headlights and stuff. So I'll do a little bit more tweaking to it. I will put it in context in an environment and post it up on Instagram and Mastodon within the next hour or so. I appreciate everyone following along with me or watching it later if that's what you do. Please subscribe. I do these every day, every weekday at about 7:30 a.m. Pacific time for about 90 minutes. Um, if you have things you'd like to see me do, either comment or send me a message, and I really appreciate it. Okay, take care. Have a great day.